Hello, good people. It's always exciting to be here, and this is Nigeria, and nothing is impossible. And at the airport yesterday, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport yesterday, two airplanes collided. I wonder what is going on because really, if flights are just resuming, they've not even resumed up to 2 weeks, and the flights are already colliding. So that means a lot of checks has to be done. But really, what could have caused these planes to have collided that made such a huge scene? And what are the airlines that collided against each other and what time? Anyway, much of these details I'll bring to you, but before then, if you haven't subscribed, please do, and also ensure you give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell because that is the way you get notified anytime we drop a new video. All right, without wasting much of your time, let us dive right into the details as to why these airplanes collided. Yes, it says there was chaos at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos after two airplanes collided on Wednesday. An Airbus A330-243 owned by Middle East Airlines with registration number ODMEA ran into a Boeing 777 airplane with registration number TC-LJC operated by Turkish Airlines. The Middle East Airbus ran into the Turkish cargo flight, which was parked at the international airport apron. According to the deal, the Turkish cargo plane was said to be parked at the tarmac when the Airbus, which was taxiing, ran into it. The plane had to disembark its passengers who were already on board. Earlier this week, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF boss Mustafa, spoke about the efforts of the federal government towards the resumption of international flights in the country. Mustafa, who is also the chairman of the Presidential Task Force (PTF) on COVID-19, said talks are currently ongoing between the Presidential Task Force and the Ministry of Aviation regarding the resumption of international flights. Mr. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federal and Chairman PTF COVID-19, has called on Nigerians to disregard any fake news making the rounds as the aviation sector was working out a protocol to resume international flights. Mustafa stated this at the daily briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 on Thursday. Recall that Minister of Aviation Senator Hadi Sirika had said that no resumption date was announced for international flight operations. He urged Nigerians to be patient and await the real date for resumption of international flights as no date has been fixed yet. According to him, the aviation sector has been working assiduously to develop the protocols of the resumption of international air service. The PTF remains conscious of the significant contributions of air travels to economic growth and shall continue to push for a safe resumption. The next phase is for aviation regulators to engage with stakeholders to facilitate an integrated and seamless resumption of international flights. I plead with all Nigerians to await the authentic information from the aviation authorities, discountenance fake news and speculations on dates, Mustafa said. However, there were reports that the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority NCAA had selected October 15th as the resumption date for international flights. Reacting, the minister said that the Nigerian Airspace Management (NAMA) only issued a routine 90-day notice to airmen. According to him, international flight resumption date is not October. NAMA just issued a routine 90-day notice to airmen. In liaison with Health, Foreign Affairs and PTF COVID-19 groups will announce the agreed date regardless of the ban by Europe and UAE, maybe earlier than October, Serika said. So my people, that is it from the flight area, and really let us critically look at some of the things that could have been going wrong in Nigeria that shouldn't be, because if at this time flights are beginning to collide, when they've not really fully resumed. I wonder when they fully resume how it's going to be, because really, if they said they've checked everything, I don't expect that the flight, any flight should have any problem, because of course it might not even be the problem of the pilot. It could just be that the flight malfunctioned at that very point in time. And even before any flight leave any state to another state, they should have checked properly to ensure that that flight is well ready to take passengers out of that state. Because really, these are some of the things that Nigerians always take for granted. We've seen aircraft, we've seen local flights that crashed just between Lagos and Abuja. We've seen different things. You saw the report I brought to you about that of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and how the flight, the helicopter he used, crashed just because of little things that were not taken cognizance of when they are supposed to check. Because if more details are not put into these things, more lives will be lost. Imagine if that flight, after they collided and the thing went into flames, you can imagine the number of lives that would have been lost, because of course everyone was already on board, and you can imagine what would have happened. Even without people leaving the airport, they've already lost their lives. What is then now to say? The next thing they will tell us, oh, we are investigating the matter. We are trying to see what happened to the flight. And reports will come after a year, after the people are buried and even forgotten. The reports will come after a year. It is shameful that Nigeria still has to be in this level where local flights will collide amongst themselves in the airport, which it is absurd and uncalled for. That at this level we should grow, we should not retrogress. In every area, in every sector of the Nigerian economy, we should be thinking of growth. If any flight is not fully prepared, is not ready to fly, then they should be put aside and let others that are fully ready take over. Because of course that flight that just collided with another one that is parked is because something must be wrong. It might not even be the fault of the pilot or the engineers that were on board. It could just be a malfunction from the airplane. And before they start, they should check everything to ensure that everything is perfectly okay. Everything is perfectly fine. Now they are talking about international flights and when to resume and all of that. How prepared are they? That is what we should really look into, because of course there are so many people that want to fly, so eager, so eager that they just cannot wait. But how prepared is the aviation ministry? How prepared are the air flights that want to take people? How well have they been able to check and service these airplanes? Because so many of them have been parked for months. They've not been working, so they would have had some kind of frictions that should be oiled and checked. On a normal day where flights even fly, where they still check, there are still some mistakes now that they've been parked for some time. So it is important that everyone has to be very careful, because for this season, if anyone has to fly, you have to know, you have to pray and sometimes even fast before flying, because you are not even sure of the flight that is taking you. Because of the time of the pandemic, there was no movement, so some of them have had some kind of friction that they would need some lubrication and some little repairs in one or two places to ensure that there's smooth ride for everyone that will be on board. But all the same, we hope that the government is actually working on resuming international flight fully. For some of you that have been waiting for flight to resume, like you heard that some people said that flight resumption is October 9. Now the government have said there is nothing as such. They only sent a letter to some of the pilots that they should get prepared and all of that, all of that. He said there's really no date yet, but very soon. It could be earlier than October, it could be later. But of course, he said since a flight is one of the the things that brings good resources to any nation, they are really eager and waiting to fly. But yet Europe is not ready to open their borders yet to allow flights in, and United Arab Emirates and the likes. But hopefully everyone will open soon and life will become normal again. So it's just a little patience. So guys, that is it, and I really appreciate your time here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.